Nick Robertson was scratched from the Toronto Maple Leafs lineup against the Philadelphia Flyers, and this could signal the beginning of the end of his journey with the team. Is it time to give him a fresh start, perhaps alongside his brother Jason with the Dallas Stars? Let's dive into this story. Head coach Craig Berube's decision to remove Robertson and insert Ryan Reaves did not go unnoticed. The reasoning seemed clear: to add a physical presence to face Flyers Garnet Hathaway after the incident that injured Jake McCabe in the previous game. However, Reaves not only didn't fight, but also ended up scoring an own goal. Did the strategy work? Perhaps not as intended, but this issue goes beyond a single game. The third line of Robertson, Max Domi, and Bobby McMahon have been performing well. So, why break it up? This decision raises questions about Robertson's future role on the team. Will he have a place in the playoffs, or is Toronto already signaling a possible change? If the Toronto Maple Leafs do decide to trade Robertson, the Dallas Stars seem like a natural destination. Just imagine Nick playing alongside his brother Jason. The Stars are a competitive team with gaps that a young talent like Robertson could fill, especially in a future season. Additionally, being with Jason could bring out the best in Nick, providing a more comfortable and motivating environment. From Toronto's perspective, such a trade could be advantageous. While Robertson's market value may not be high, he could still return draft picks or assets that would help in future deals. And let's face it, the Leafs need to recover some mid-range draft picks they've wasted in recent years. This is one of those decisions that will not please everyone, isn't it? Robertson is still young and full of potential, and many believe he deserves more chances in Toronto. On the other hand, if the team isn't willing to use him consistently, wouldn't it be better to let him thrive elsewhere? Now, we want to hear from you. Do you think the Toronto Maple Leafs should trade Nick Robertson or stick with him? Do you believe a partnership with Jason on the Dallas Stars would be the best move for his career? Meanwhile, with the NHL trade deadline approaching, the Toronto Maple Leafs are at the center of a potential blockbuster deal to strengthen their defense. According to a proposal by Puckpedia, the Leafs may be targeting Calgary Flames defenseman Rasmus Andersson. But is it worth the price? Let's analyze. The scenario proposed by Puckpedia suggests Toronto acquiring Andersson with $2 million of his salary retained in exchange for Easton Cowan, a top Leafs prospect; Simon Benoit, an established NHL defenseman; 2026 first-round pick; 2025 second-round pick Florida's. For Toronto, Andersson would be a significant addition. The defenseman, currently in the fifth year of his six-year, $27.3 million contract, would bring stability and versatility to the team's blue line. He has already recorded 18 points in 41 games this season and could play on either the top or second defensive pairing. But acquiring a player of his caliber naturally requires sacrifices, and that's where the debate begins. Easton Cowan, the 28th overall pick in the 2023 draft, is considered the Leafs' top prospect. Although he has faced consecutive struggles in recent World Junior tournaments, he remains a promising talent with 30 points in 22 games in the OHL this season. Still, many fans are questioning his future after inconsistent performances in critical moments. NHL insider Elliot Friedman strongly advised against giving up on Cowan too soon. "You don't trade a player like him based on 2 bad weeks," he said. The concern is that Toronto might be selling low on an asset that could become a cornerstone in the future. What do you think, fans? Do you agree that Cowan deserves more time to develop his game, or should he be included in a trade for Andersson? Including Simon Benoit in the package makes sense. He has become a secondary piece on the Leafs' blue line, with just 4 points in 42 games this season. For Calgary, he could serve as an immediate replacement for Andersson. Moreover, with the Flames potentially heading toward a rebuild, the draft picks included in the trade would be valuable assets. But is Toronto ready to give up so many valuable future pieces to strengthen their present? Do you think the cost is worth the reward? Andersson has made it clear that he loves playing in Calgary. Despite the rumors, he doesn't seem eager to leave. "I love playing here and always have. I hate the Oilers, I hate the Canucks, and that will never change," he said. Even so, He acknowledges that the NHL is a business and anything can happen. If the Leafs manage to acquire Andersson, they would gain a solid player with experience and a relatively team-friendly contract. However, sacrificing Cowan and key draft picks could be a risky move. This trade, if it happens, has the potential to transform the Leafs' defense, but it could also significantly impact the team's future. Do you think Toronto should risk it all to acquire Rasmus Andersson, or would it be wiser to hold on to Cowan and invest in internal development? When we consider both scenarios, the potential trade of Nick Robertson to reunite the brothers in Dallas and the acquisition of Rasmus Andersson to bolster the Leafs' defense, it's clear that the Toronto Maple Leafs are at a crossroads that could define the team's short and long-term future. Both stories involve complex decisions that balance the team's present and future, leaving us to wonder, what is the Leafs' ultimate plan? With Robertson, it's hard to ignore the wasted potential. The young forward has clear skills, but Toronto seems unable to find a consistent role for him. Trading him to the Dallas Stars, where he could join his brother Jason, would not only benefit the Texas team, but also give Nick a real chance to restart in a potentially more favorable environment. At the same time, Toronto could use this trade to acquire assets that strengthen the team immediately, especially with the playoffs approaching. On the other hand, the potential move to bring Rasmus Andersson from Calgary is the kind of trade that could transform the Leafs right now. Andersson is exactly the type of defenseman the team needs to strengthen the blue line, especially if they aim to compete with the best in the playoffs. The problem is the cost. Losing Easton Cowan and draft picks could hurt in the long run. Should the Leafs sacrifice the future for a shot at the present? These two situations raise an important question. What is the Leafs' priority? Are they focused on winning now, at any cost, or are they trying to build something sustainable for the future? This doubt directly reflects on both potential trades. In the end, it all comes down to the team's vision. What would you do? Would you trade Nick Robertson to give him a new chance and strengthen the roster? Or would you go all in for Rasmus Andersson, even if it meant giving up a promising prospect like Cowan? Share your thoughts in the comments, because we want to hear what you think about these potential moves. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your support is essential for us to keep bringing you analysis and discussions about the Toronto Maple Leafs.